Executive consultants, you're welcome. We've been looking at a series of an accounting software package, and that is Tally. And like we promised, we are starting on another package, and that is going to be known as QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is an accounting software that was evoked and marketed by the Intuit, and it was introduced first on the market as far as 1983. QuickBooks has been useful to so many companies because it has helped them to track expenses, manage cash flows, create invoices, and then they have gone ahead to add value to QuickBooks by putting it online, meaning you may no longer need to access or download the software or buy the software. You can simply get it online and you'll be able to access it wherever you want. So today we are going to look at an offline model of QuickBooks, and we are going to still find out how a company is created under QuickBooks. Executive consultants, you're welcome. Okay, so when I open my QuickBooks, I'm using a Premium Accountant Edition 2010. So when I open it, they automatically ask me, because we need to get started, and that's why you're seeing that they are telling us to welcome to QuickBooks, easy step interview, get started. I must tell you that there are two things we are looking at here. There is start interview and then there is skip interview. I must tell you that when I press start interview, I will not be creating a company. I'll simply be trying it out. So allow me skip the interview, because when I skip the interview, we will go through the same procedure, same process that we will have gone through when we are starting the interview. But the only difference is when I skip the interview and when I say finish, the company will have been created. So when I press skip, I'm going to be using more of the mouse, because unlike Tally where we use more of the keyboard, this time I'm going to be using more of the mouse. So when I press skip interview, they'll simply bring on a page. And on this page, just like we saw, we are going to start with the company name, the legal name, the street address, the city, the address in particular, and then so on and so forth. So like we are saying today, again, we are also going to use the company that we opened up in Tally, and we are going to say the executives firm. And then it is also going to be our legal form, the executive firm. And then we'll still maintain our street address as William Street. And we will say we are in Kampala as our city. And then our county will say perhaps we are in Machindye. And then our postcode, we can come up with 256 or 256. And then when it comes to the country, like I said, it is not a licensed model. I'm using the educational model to teach. But if you need a licensed model, you can be able to get it. Just contact us on the contacts that we've put up on our home page or home screen. So I'll still select others because we're in Uganda. And then I'll say our contact is going to be 256. That's going to be our contact. And then if we have any fax number rather, we'll put it up and then we'll be ready to run. So the business name or number, that's if you've already registered with the URSB. So we'll say this is going to be our business number. And then our email address is going to be maintained, executives@gmail.com. And if we had a website, we would put one. So let's assume we've not yet come up with a website for our company. So once all that is done, we can simply say next. And now when you say next, this is a most important area as far as QuickBooks is concerned. You can see that we have 4 types of companies, or 4 types of operations for that case. We have the sole trader, we have the partnership, we have the company limited liability, and the NGOs. So chances are high that you who is going to open up this for your company, you are most likely to fall under the first 4. So let's assume you are a sole trader. Because if you select a wrong company, chances are high that you will get wrong accounts. So you need to be sure and certain on the kind of accounts or on the account of a company you are selecting. So we'll say next, and then this is another important area like we saw in tally the financial year. So like I said, that we want to be good taxpayers and we don't want to have transitional years of incomes. We are simply going to have the financial year of income starting just like the one that our country is following, and that is going to be July 1st. So once all that is done, we go on, and then we go to another important area known as selecting your industry. Now, you should know that there are so many industries where the business operations take place from. So you who is opening up, you who is an administrator and you're opening up for your company, you need to know which industry do you fall in. Do you fall in accounting and bookkeeping? Are you in advertising? Are you in real estate? Are you in architect? Are you in construction? Are you a church? Are you an information technology? There are so many industries that are listed down for you here. So whichever industry you choose, you're going to see the accounts here change. For example, if I select lodging, you can see that the income accounts has now gotten new sub items, banquets and events incomes. But when I change and then I say, let me press on property management, you can see that my account is changing along as my expense accounts. The reason is these industries have different and respective income activities, or they have different expenses that they incur. So that's why you cannot have the same accounts for all the industries. And when I press on transportation, you can see that things keep on changing. I must tell you that just like we saw in tally, even here we are going to have predetermined accounts, but you can choose to use them or to ignore them. So assuming this sole trader company that we've come up with is a wholesale distribution and sales, because normally that is what they deal in. So we will simply say next. And when we say next, they'll ask us, are you really sure you're conversant and you're very okay with what you've provided with us? Because if you are, then you can go ahead and then you press on finish. And when I press on finish, they will ask me, where do you want to keep this folder? Because we know very well that you will be accessing it. So you will need to put it on a desktop, and then once you say save, you can be assured that your company will be created. So it takes a little bit of time, and then we'll be able to finish. Okay, now after the system or the software being allowed to be saved on your desktop or whichever location you might want to save it on, the firm or the company that you've opened up with the accounts for as far as QuickBooks is concerned gets on board, and then it appears like this. So in the next lecture, we are going to go through the most important areas or the most important dashboards or the very key areas that one needs to pay attention to when they are running a QuickBooks account. Executive consultants, good evening.